This is Prophet Blaine, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Biz Talk with DeAndre. And I'm your host, DeAndre Ford. And we have a great show tonight with none other than Miss Chenuda Harris.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Again, she was on the show before, and she had so much information about credit that we had to get her back on the show again. So again, make sure that you got your tablets or your notebook and your pen or pencil and get ready to take some copious notes. But hopefully everybody had a great week. Again, it's so hard to believe that it's like Wednesday already again. And we had a great time last week, but today is going to be great, greater, gooder, and gooder and gooder. So you got some good information, right?
I do.
But as we know, each show that we start off our Biz Talk with DeAndre, that we start off with affirmations. We like to affirm. We like to speak positive affirmations out there and repeat them over and over and over that they come to pass. So today's show is like no other, with our credit with Chenuda and with our affirmations. So again, you can either repeat after me, you can write them down so you can do them today and the next day and the next day, or you can make up your own. So today, especially for my business owners, let's go with this one here. My business is growing, expanding, and thriving. Simple, yet powerful. Again, my business is growing, expanding, and thriving. Again, if you're a business owner, you definitely want to see your business growing, right? Because when that business grows, your bank account grows. If that business is expanding, your bank account is expanding. If your business is thriving, your bank account is thriving. So you're a business owner. So again, wouldn't you like for your business to grow, expand, and thrive?
Most definitely.
And the credit, I can even put the credit in there. My credit score is growing. My credit score is expanding.
I know.
And my money is thriving.
Awesome.
Oh, man. So again, just repeat after me. My business is growing, expanding, and thriving. So again, that's a good one for our business owners to definitely write down and speak that every day. Even as you're going throughout the day, just repeat that one. And again, it starts to come to pass. Another one. We'll talk about happiness now. Happiness is a choice. I base my happiness on my own accomplishments and the blessings I've been given. Again, it's simple, yet powerful, especially after you say it repeatedly over and over and over again. Things start to change. It starts to come to pass. So again, happiness, it's a choice. You could either be happy or you could choose not to be happy. I like to choose to be happy. So again, happiness is a choice. I base my happiness on my own accomplishment. Things that you do and you accomplish, base it on that and continue to be happy. And the blessings. Again, God gives us those blessings. So again, you choose to be happy. You get up in the morning. Hey, you could choose to, you might stump your toe or something. You're hollering. You could choose to go ahead and have a messed up day. Or you could choose, hey, I'm going to be happy regardless. I'm going to put a smile on my face. I'm going to laugh. Again, I'm going to thank God for this day. Now, my ability to conquer challenges is limitless. No limits. My potential to succeed is infinite. Again, infinite meaning there's no boundaries. So again, it's a choice, but you telling yourself about your abilities. Now, you might have some that are unemployed, not working right now, doesn't have a business. So again, I like this one here. I deserve to be employed and paid well for my time, efforts, and ideas. Each day, I am closer to finding the perfect job for me. Not for you, but for me. A perfect job just for me. So again, just repeat that each day, each morning. I deserve to be employed and paid well for my time, efforts, and ideas. Each day, I am closer to finding the perfect job for me. Again, these are simply affirmations that are affirming. There's positive sentences that you say every day. My thoughts are filled with positivity, and my life is plentiful with prosperity. My thoughts are filled with positivity, and my life is plentiful with prosperity. Now, the last one. Today, I abandon my old habits, take up new and more positive ones. Okay. We all got something that we're struggling with, that we got to be delivered from. It's a habit that you've gotten, but you want to abandon. You want to throw those old habits away, and you want to come up with new positive ones. So again, today, and each day is a new day and a new opportunity. So you say, today, I abandon my old habits and take up new and more positive ones. More positive each day. So again, hopefully you all have taken some of those affirmations or created your own or grab some scripture. Write it down. Speak it each and every day. And the one I won't say, but I will say, I am blessed with an incredible family and wonderful friends. I said that one right there. I am blessed with an incredible family and awesome friends. Or you can say wonderful friends. Whatever you choose. I'm blessed with a wonderful wife. Hopefully she's out there checking me out. She's watching us today on the show, Biz Talk with DeAndre. What's up? She's out there somewhere. Hopefully watching us. Well, that's the affirmations. And again, you want to say those affirmations every day. And you want to teach it to your young people.
Definitely. You
got children, you got grandchildren, or maybe you're a mentor in the community. Again, get into them affirmations. Again, just watch them come to pass. The affirmations too, if you couple those with, you talk about dream boards, you write it down, you put pictures on there, you post it, and you speak it, and you watch that every day, and you watch those things come to pass. Mm-hmm. And I've done it. Now I got to start doing it more and focusing more. So again, affirmations. So today we are here on Biz Talk with DeAndre, and it's on Worship Radio International. So go check out the website. There are a lot of great shows here. So check out worshipradio.faith, Faith. And check us out. Again, you definitely want to check out the shows early in the day, in the afternoon, in the evening, Saturdays. Might even have some Sundays. I believe we got some Sunday lineup.
I don't think there's a Sunday.
Yeah, I think the other day. I'm not positive.
Definitely Saturdays for sure.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm with Pastor Al, coaching with Al. Definitely check him out. So now, we're ready for some good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We got our affirmations going. Now we want to get into some credit. Now, I know last time you were on, we talked about credit. And I was getting a lot of, even on the feed, a lot of questions.
Yes.
And so now we want to go ahead and continue with credit. And for those who are just tuning in, they're right on time.
Right.
So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's Chenuda Harris?
Well, my name is Chenuda Harris, as he said. I'm that financial specialist helping you with your financial matters. We want to give you solutions to your financial matters, right? Because when you have a problem, you need some solutions. So we're here to give you that. I am a single mom. My daughter is 27 years old.
No.
And I just celebrated a milestone birthday over the weekend, so I'm extremely excited.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I work full-time at FCA, and I'm a proud UAW member representing solidarity for my union brothers and sisters out there. And I'm just extremely excited that you invited me and extended another invitation for me to come and share some awesome information with folks that need my assistance.
Now tell me, how did you get into credit? I mean, there's a lot of different things out there, but how did you get into the credit industry?
Well, I'm just be very transparent. I needed assistance with my credit. My credit was jacked. And as I was approaching my milestone birthday this year, I had to put some things in motion. We talk about planning and getting ready for things to happen, but I had to strategically plan, come up with a plan to get my credit in order. So that was the one thing that I was looking for, in addition to thinking about as I approached 20 years of service with FCA. I'm like within that 10-year window of retirement.
Exit plan.
So I need to figure out a sundown plan, right? So my position was, okay, I found this business. I liked what I was doing prior to, which was teaching people about saving money via couponing. So now I'm on the flip side of it, showing people how to save money and get their credit in order to give them much more buying power. Because cash is king, credit is power, plain and simple.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started.
Wow. So, talking about credit here. Now, what's the range as far as credit? To know if you got bad credit, good credit. There's a little range there. What's the numbers?
Yeah, there is a range for the credit score. Mm-hmm. So let's just say if you are looking at, we went backwards there. If you are sitting at a 499 or less, then we definitely need to have some conversations there, because one, you're high risk and you have some serious credit issues. Anything under a 625, we really need to have some conversation, because you're looking at paying higher interest rates when you're purchasing a home or purchasing a car. Your credit worthiness is the key. Now, some of the things that we discussed before that I want to reiterate is what makes up our credit score, so that everybody's on the same page with how the credit score is basically calculated. Okay. 35% of your credit score is calculated, and I want to give y'all the right information, so forgive me. Here we go. Is your payment history. 35% is your payment history. So that's a combination of paying your bills on time. And just so you'll know, one late payment can drop your score 100 points.
Oh, 100 points.
100 points. So
100 points.
30% of your score is the amount of that's owed. So let's just say, for instance, if you have a credit card with $1,000 limit, you can't run it up to $998 and think that your credit score is going to be maintained, because it's not. You need to keep it within 20 to 30% of that limit. So if you got $1,000, you only need to spend $300 of that. Okay? The length of your credit history is 15% of your credit score. So those of you that think that, let me go pay this bill off, you're cutting off your score. You're cutting off a portion of the score, because you're taking away the history, you're taking away the amount that's owed, and it's going to go against you. So it will drop your score.
Okay, that was a question that I did have.
That was a question you had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, I paid off my credit card, so it's zero balance now. So should I go and make like a small purchase to have something on there?
I always suggest to people, keep a small amount on there, just so it shows that you are responsible, because that is really what they're looking at. 10% of your credit score is comprised of new credit. Now, I'm not saying rush out and apply for every daggone charge and credit card that are out there. And I know that the incentives get much more tempting during Christmas time, this time of the year, because everybody wants you to open up that line of credit. So don't get caught up in the hype of they're giving you an extra 20 and 30% off your bill in addition to the sale price to open up charge cards, because you don't want to take that hit if you don't have to, especially if you're looking at a low credit score to begin with. Then you want to have a mixture of credit between revolving and revolving credit, which would be like your car loans and your mortgages, and then credit cards. So you want to have a mixture of both. And let me explain the difference between a credit card and a charge card so that everybody's clear. A credit card is your Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, something that you can use anywhere. A charge card, you're only limited to certain places that you can use it. So therefore, if you have a Lane Bryant card, that is a charge card, Macy's, Home Depot, Lowe's, those are all charge cards. So you want to have a mixture of a couple of charge cards and a couple of credit cards. And then if you have a home loan or car payment.
Okay.
And then you want to make sure your bills are paid on time. Now, in terms of payment on time, that due date that appears on your statement when you get it, that is the date that is reported to the credit bureaus. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. Pay that bill a few days before. And then, just to give you a little trick, I would even break that payment. If you owe, or if you're planning on paying $50, pay $25 one week and then turn around and pay them another $25. You're still paying your full $50 payment, but it looks to them like you're making two payments. So it tricks the system in believing you made two big payments, even though it's just that one payment to solidify that monthly bill.
Okay, so I've been doing that, not even knowing that's a benefit to me.
It's definitely a benefit to you, and you should see some moving of your score to increase. Okay, cool. Well, at least I know that some people are taking advice and using it for their good. Right. So that's awesome to know.
Wow. Okay.
Let me talk a little bit about what we do and the products that we have to offer, just to give you a bird's eye view of the services. Because a lot of people think that they need credit restoration. Sometimes you don't need credit restoration. You just need some minor tweaking to your habits. And the way you do that is just basically, like I said, monitoring how you are spending and how you're paying your bills. And it's a disciplinary mindset as well. So therefore, you can't rush out and, Michael Kors just came out with a new line for the fall. Let me go rush to the store and go get the newest purse. Or, fellas, it's hunting season. I got to go get the new gear for hunting season because it's coming. You got to discipline yourself so that you don't max out your cards or max out your spending. But what we do show you with our products is, one, we're going to give you some budgeting tools. So we want to show you how to budget your money. We want to show you strategically how to pay your bills so it doesn't impact your scores negatively anymore, so that you don't need credit repair. We're also going to give you a smart credit profile. That is one of my favorite tools that we offer because, one, it shows you every time somebody hits your credit. It shows you what's going on. It shows you your credit score 24/7. It shows you what items are being deleted. It shows you your credit report 24/7 as well. So I love that because it's much more accurate. It is based on the vintage FICO score, which is much more accurate. That is the scoring system that is utilized with the car dealers and with most mortgage companies when it's time to get your loans and qualify for financing. Also, our product comes along with a credit attorney. So in the event that you are doing the credit restoration piece, you have a credit attorney working on your behalf, being able to handle like harassing phone calls or difficult disputes that you might have on your credit that our credit team can't get off of your credit report, which is awesome because if you had to go pay for an attorney, you're going to pay way more out the pocket for a credit attorney. And you definitely have an awesome credit team of attorneys that work well for your behalf, have gotten money back with people with bankruptcies that they've gone in and done some investigation, because you got to understand, these government workers, they do make mistakes. Human errors do happen during the bankruptcy process. So they're able to go in there and find some mistakes. And guess what? If they find a mistake, it has to be thrown out by using the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, which is what we use as leverage to do our disputes when we are doing our credit restoration piece. So that is one product that I really, really love because they use the law. And a lot of people don't know how to use the law if you're trying to do this at home, a do-it-yourself type process at home. You don't know exactly what you have to do to get it off. And
Google. You can Google it.
well, you can Google it, but Google's not going to give you a credit attorney if you got something difficult. Google can give you a lot of answers, but they're not going to give you all of what you might need for your problem at that time and or in an expeditious matter if you are working with a timeline. And a lot of times people that have credit issues, they want something done right now, not realizing it took them a process to get to where they are, and so therefore there's going to be a process to get you out of it.
Almost like my weight loss. It took me a while to get here.
I have no comment. I have no comment.
That was my analogy.
I understand, but I ain't gonna comment. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Keep going.
Okay. We're also going to give you a positive credit builder. So we're going to show you how to build that credit, right? So that you build your credit to a point where it's manageable for you. We're going to show you different products. So we're educating you. And that's really the key thing to our services is the educational piece. You're not only just getting services. We want to show you how to become financially free and keep you that way. We're going to give you a financial lockbox. And what that does is simply lock all of your passwords and different things that might be of important information. Put it all in one place so that in the event of your passing, you have your things in one secured place for your loved ones, and your loved ones are not scrambling. We also offer a will, trust, power of attorney. So therefore, if you don't have those types of documents in place, you get a nice notarized binder with all of your wishes. And the trust executes the will. A lot of people don't understand. They go hand in hand. You can have a will, but if you don't have a trust to execute that will, you're still going to run into some problems. And that's why a lot of people wind up in probate court because they don't have these documentations. I mean, look at Aretha Franklin's family right now. They're in probate court and will be in probate court for some time going over her affairs because she did not get a will, trust, power of attorney in place before she passed away. And granted, she has millions of dollars and she could have afforded to do such, but she chose not to, unfortunately. You have other celebrities that have done just the same, have passed on and didn't have a will, trust, power of attorney in place. And me personally, if I was to lose a loved one and those documents are not in place, those things can cause turmoil. I've seen it happen within families. People want to fight over, I want the car, I want the house, I want this, and I want that, and nothing's in writing.
So true.
And all of it has to go to probate court, despite what Big Mama said she wanted y'all to do. Now,
oh, man.
Big Mama then told you a whole bunch of things. She done told you there's money under the mattress, in the back of the closet, up under the third blanket, and you've got to have all that stuff in writing, folks. And it's got to be notarized to make it legal.
Wow. Yeah, you see a lot of families fighting when it comes to the loss of a loved one.
Man.
Fighting over some of the simplest things. Mm-hmm. It could be like, say, Big Mama's antiques or something.
I need Granny's wig.
Oh, man. So to avoid that,
will, trust, power of attorney. Put it in writing. Get it notarized. If you don't utilize my services, at least utilize my advice to go and get that. There are do-it-yourself kits that you can write your wishes down and take it and have it notarized by a notary.
Yeah, something you said a little earlier in regards to the services where you all teach you how to do that. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's powerful because, again, you want to learn to avoid getting back into that situation.
Well, let's think about this, DeAndre. If these things were taught to you in high school, would
Mhm.
you have made the same mistakes as an adult?
No.
Exactly.
Very slim chance. Slim chance. You always got some folks out there that, but for the most part, no, not at all.
If this was a part
Not
of
at all.
the educational process in high school for you to leave high school, I do believe that we would have less people in America today without the credit problems. There would be fewer. I mean, right now we're looking at over 65 million people with less than perfect credit. Here in Detroit market alone, the credit score average is 552. You can't get much with a 552.
Wow. Wow. And what I see too now, it's so much that's attached to that credit score. Insurance. Hey, what does that have to do with me driving and my credit score? But they're connecting all this stuff, rent. And it's like, wow. So it's like you got to focus on that credit.
Well, we
Clean it
now
up.
have a program for you to report your rent onto your credit report. And for a person with a low score, if you're trying to increase your score, this is the best thing for you to do, is to contact me about the Credit My Rent program. And what it does is add a positive trade line to your credit report so that you are getting credit for that rent payment. Because this is the other thing about the Detroit market, is that we have the most renters.
I just saw that the other day.
We do. We have the most renters because people don't have the credit scores to purchase.
Wow.
So that's a huge advantage for you to at least start off with that program. If you don't start off with nothing else, that's an easy fix for you to do,
Wow.
and an inexpensive fix for you as well. Is 2 trips to Tim Hortons, if you will, in a month. So less than $10 will get you your credit reported onto your credit report for your rent.
Like I said, you got a wealth of information, and we only got an hour, but again, I want to extract as much as I can to give to our listeners, our viewers out there. Because again, credit is important,
Definitely.
and it's kind of, I don't want to say switch gears right now, but we're talking about credit. What about those of us who have children and we want to get them to be credit savvy, or even to build, like my daughter? She's like 20 now, but when she's 18, and when she's 19, she applied for something and got denied because she didn't have a credit history. And so what are some tips for, because I know what I've done was put her on one of my cards. I pay timely all the time, and that boosted up her
Couple
credit
of
score.
things that you can do for 18, 19-year-olds that are now venturing off, that have a 0 credit score and don't have any type of credit history. 1, get them a secured card. 2, you can add them as an authorized user onto your credit card. That history will definitely help follow them. And then the other thing is, if they're paying rent, put them on Credit My Rent, because that's going to help increase their scores. I have a business partner who did that for her son. I want to say he's like 18, 19 years old. And she had reported that he was paying rent at home, in which he was, because he couldn't stay for free.
Right.
Because that was a disciplinary thing that she was teaching her son, that you can't live for free now that you're 18. You got to pay some rent.
Dinero.
So teaching him some discipline, that you just can't live anywhere for free.
Right.
So that is a great start for a young person just starting out. But we even take it back even further into our schools. We have a program through our youth financial literacy program that we can go into the schools with. We have a booklet that's designed for children's ages 8 to 18, where we teach financial literacies. It's an 8-week program. So for every 35 kids that go through this program, we grant $500. And that $500 is basically like a free fundraiser, because we're going to award them that as a thank you for completing that program, but just think about how savvy those children will be because they
Exactly.
got that information. They will learn how to have a savings and what certain things are. They will learn what credit is and how to use it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an important thing. If you are a teacher, an administrator, please definitely contact me so we can get this program into your schools, because I'm certain here that we have people that need to have some extra things for the kids, and that would be an educational way to teach the children and earn some money at the same time for classrooms.
A win-win situation.
Isn't that awesome? And then also the program benefits a scholarship program that we're about to kick off here in the next couple of weeks. You'll be hearing me talk about it more on my show on Let's Fix It with Chenuda here on Worship Radio International. We'll be talking about the scholarship program that we help college freshmen and graduating seniors. There's an essay contest that we offer. This year, our company paid out over $350,000 in scholarship money. Wow. The top money being $25,000. And one of my followers' daughters, she applied and entered into the contest and won $7,000.
Oh wow!
So the least that you'd walk away with is $5,000. And anybody that has paid college tuition know college is not cheap.
Yes, I know.
I think your daughter's in college.
Yes.
It's not a cheap expense. And for a student to be awarded $5,000 or more, what can that possibly pay?
That helps out. That helps out a lot.
Definitely. The gentleman that won the top prize, we had the opportunity to meet him and his family in Las Vegas at our convention. Our company flies the winner and their family to Vegas, and all expense paid, $25,000.
Wow. I could use that.
Exactly, right? So he already had some other scholarships, so he was a very smart man, and he's attending Hampton University this year.
Okay.
And playing football, but with the $25,000 that he got from our company, he doesn't have to take out student loans. And as a parent of a parent of a college student, what a major blessing that is. And he's a child of a single mom of two boys that are going to Hampton. Go figure. Wow. And Hampton's not a cheap school.
No, we went out there and my son was looking. I remember
Hampton is not cheap. Great school though. Love my HBCUs. Yeah. However, they're a little costly.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So, let me see. There's another question.
Okay.
I know I've heard in the past and people repeating it, like after 7 years, they automatically just drop it off your credit. So I'm not worried about that. So they're going to drop it off in 7 years.
Okay.
How true is that?
First of all, there is no law or rule that states that it has to be on there 7 to 10 years. So if you have a bankruptcy that has been discharged, we can assist you. First of all, our credit bureaus are not even a part of our government entity. They are businesses, and unfortunately, they control so much of what we do as citizens, which is ridiculous for them not to be a government entity. And then 2 of them are not even in the U.S. That's upsetting.
Say that again.
2 of the companies of the credit bureaus are not in the United States. So when you call one of them or 2 of them, they're not here in the U.S. at all. They're in another country. But they get to govern what you can and cannot buy and what you can and cannot do. And how much you pay. Go figure.
Okay.
Everybody.
Again, that's news to me.
And then with the bankruptcy thing, look at 45. That's the orange man that's sitting in the White House. For y'all that didn't know. He's filed bankruptcy 13 times.
Wow.
And look at how many millions of dollars he's worth. 13 times.
Wow. All right, let's get into something more refreshing.
You just asked for the facts, so I'm just providing you the information.
We want to be transparent here on Biz Talk with DeAndre. We want to hear the facts. We want to hear the information, but we can utilize it for our benefit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you answered that one there, and I'm still like, wow, really? Now, you talked about bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. Now, there are some people who might be thinking about bankruptcy, and there's chapter 11, chapter 13. Can you explain the difference?
Before you get to bankruptcy, let's have a conversation. And the reason that I say that is because bankruptcy is restructuring your payments. Whereas credit repair is not restructuring your payments. We are leveraging the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which simply states, yes, we as the consumers, we did create the debt, we made the bill, we ran up the charge, we did whatever. But what happens is that if they sold that debt to a debt collector, that debt collector was not whom you took that original debt out to. Mm-hmm. So we use the Fair Credit Reporting Act as that leverage to help remove that off of your credit score. And then, let's just say, wild card, you have a bill, and your bill is only $300, but they're saying you owe $410. Well, that's an error. That gets to come off. That can increase your score right there, is that error that's on your report. So all those things could be potentially removed because technically there is no statute of limitations by law that states anything has to be on your credit report for a certain amount of time. That is the myth and the lie that we have been given by society as a rule of thumb. But that is not true.
So that means it's a chance that I don't even have to go through bankruptcy or do a bankruptcy. No. Go ahead and get some things off there, increase my score, and avoid that, and avoid paying an attorney and restructuring. Exactly. You've heard it here on Biz Talk with DeAndre.
It's worth a free consultation.
Right.
At least to see what you have and to see what you're working with. And I did use the word free. Let me say it again. It is worth a free consultation. I mean, we spend money frivolously on stuff. I know that there's probably so many of you that are thinking about buying that new iPhone and your credit score is 411. Let's talk. Because you're conflicted with your priorities there on so many levels. Let's talk. And if you're going out buying the new Jordans or the new this and the new that, and you're talking about, I want to own a home, but you're sitting with a bad credit score, our priorities are wrong. We've got to shift our priorities.
Wow. And you said consultation, free 99.
Free. FREE. A free consultation.
Wow. Get a free consultation.
So we're just going to have a conversation about what's going on with your credit so we can do an assessment to say yes or no, this is for you.
Wow. So when you call her and mention Biz Talk with DeAndre, when you call to talk to Chenuda about helping you with your credit, yeah, credit is so important now. And like you were saying earlier, how a missed payment or something like that can drop it 100 points, but yet it's so hard to go the opposite way. Yep. It drops you 100, and each month I'm paying on time from that point, it might be 1 point, 2 points.
Could be. But, the idea is to keep going in the upward direction, because the closer to the 800 range is really where you want to go. Really 750, because here's the difference between 750 and the 800 plus credit score is bragging rights. You're not going to get anything different because you are in that excellent bracket of excellent credit. And a lot of people think, oh, I need the 850. I need a 900. And if somebody telling you they got a 900, they lying, because they don't. You only can have up to 850.
850. So we should strive for getting into that, breaking that 750, getting up to 750.
Yeah, getting in the 700 range is really where you want to be, because that opens up the doors for so many different opportunities and lower interest rates, and saves you so much money if you're in that range. Anything lower than that, you're going to pay a little bit more. And definitely anything below a 600, you're going to pay out the wazoo for your interest rates.
Wow.
If you're able to get anything extended to you, depending on how bad your credit really is.
So we should really take our credit seriously.
Extremely.
Now, what's the term of the soft pull, the hard?
The soft pull is when they use the last four of your social security number. If they are using your full social security number, it is a hard pull. And you don't want hard pulls on your credit unless you are making a purchase. Now, when you go to buy a car, they're going to pull your credit and run your credit through at least 6 to 10 different banks to see which one is going to give you the best rate. And I always tell people, don't buy a car unless you're ready. And you really need to know the tricks of the game if you are on that border of teetering with your credit. So you don't get in that position of paying basically for the cost of two cars. Because let's just say, for instance, you're going to a B lot to buy a car.
Yeah, what's a B lot for those?
A B lot is like a used car lot. And you see a lot of them here in the Detroit market.
Especially 8 Mile Road and Grand
Exactly.
River. Like, wow.
8 Mile is notorious. That's the B lot lane. And they will charge you 25% interest on a 2008, and here it is. We're getting ready to go into 2020.
Wow, 25%.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I have seen some credit cards like that, 26%.
And see, a lot of people don't understand that. You know, they think that, okay, my neighbor has a Mercedes. She got good credit. She look like she got it going on. Not necessarily so. Wow. You can get one of those cars off of B lot and still have less than perfect credit. I don't want to say other terms.
Yeah,
but,
you hear the commercials on TV, you know, about you don't have to have perfect credit, this, that, and the other.
That's because they're going to give you a high interest rate. That's why you don't have to have less than perfect credit.
And then they'll tell you, you know, try to get into what you can, you know, that payment. What payment are you looking for? But then they can spread it over, you know, months.
You paying for a 2008 for 5 years. So you're going to have a 13-year-old car by the time you finish?
Repair. Wow.
I mean, that's just real.
Wow. So give us, like, say, two of your top nuggets as far as credit.
Well, my favorite thing to tell people is just definitely pay your bills on time. Don't overextend yourself in your budget. Don't overextend yourself in credit. If you know there is more month than money, leave the credit alone. You don't have to have the latest Jordans, and you don't have to have the newest Gucci bag. You just don't. Live within your means and work on your credit. Prioritize. So therefore, if you have to sacrifice Starbucks credit repair, credit repair is going to give you much more of a greater payoff than you have at Starbucks. Make your coffee at home, get you some Maxwell House. Sacrifice that for 4 to 6 months until you're able to afford Starbucks. If that's the case.
Okay, sounds good.
A lot of people just don't think about it in those terms. A little short-term sacrifice. Maybe you need to not smoke cigarettes. They're bad for you anyways.
Oh, guy went just yesterday. One of the guys at work went and got a pack of cigarettes, like $8 or $9 for a pack of cigarettes. I was like, man, you need to give up that habit.
And he probably got bad credit.
He does.
So he paying for his credit repair. He's just smoking it.
Wow, $10 a pack.
For less than $3 a day for 6 months, you can get your credit fixed.
Wow. Wow. Now you got me calculating stuff. Now, what about if you have your, what, is there a penalty or is it good to start closing accounts? I might have just say 6 accounts and start closing if I only have 2. Is that hurting me?
That's going to hurt you. Remember when we talked about the pie and what comprises your credit score? That history. If you start closing things, that history, that amount, and that the credit itself will be penalized. You'll be penalized for it because you won't have those things when you start closing it.
Okay.
I had a guy tell me, I paid off my house, but my credit score dropped 50 points.
Right.
Well, when you pay off a house, you're going to take a hit, unfortunately.
So again, it's good to hear these different tips, and it's like, wow, I didn't know that. So now you can start making changes to maintain and increase that credit score.
You have to work strategically. So you really have to do analysis of what's going on with your credit so you'll know what you're working with to begin with, because it could drop it could drop at any time if you're not monitoring it.
That's right.
Unexpectedly, you be sitting there thinking, oh, it's growing, I have a 650, and then 2-3 weeks later you at a 600. What happened?
Wow.
I thought I was doing good.
Okay, so I want you to kind of reiterate another one that I kept up here and I'm doing in regards to when you said make sure you pay on time, but you kind of shared with us a tip where don't wait till the due date, but pay it before the due date, and also if you can split it up in 2 payments as opposed to 1. Can you kind of share or talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. Like you said, the due date that's on your bill is the date that it reports to the credit bureaus. That is not the date that you want to pay. And then sometimes, because of the processing time too, you can encounter a late fee with certain credit card companies, because they have on there your bill has to be accounted for basically by a certain time, and if it's not processed during that time period, they will charge you that extra $25, $35 late fee depending on what the company is. But most importantly, if you pay on that due date, it's going to decrease that score, and you don't want to decrease your score. So you want to pay a few days ahead of time so it allows ample processing time so it doesn't hit that score on that due date. And then, like I said, break it up into 2 payments if at all possible. I try to every other week give everybody like half of what I'm going to pay them for the month, because I'm paid bi-weekly, right? So that just works out that way, and it keeps everybody on track of where I need them to be to keep my credit score growing. Because the ideal for me is to grow my credit score.
Exactly. Wow. Again, hopefully you're taking some good notes. This is some great information. And the other one I was going to just ask you to reiterate, now it just slipped my mind that quick. We talked about that. In regards to the credit score, can you break that down?
Certainly. One thing I want to share while I'm in the process of pulling that up for you. We were on a conference call, and we were talking about it was a person that son who was in a car accident and had accumulated over $1 million in medical bills. And a lot of people think that medical bills can't be removed, but they can. And they were able to remove that $1 million bill off of his credit report. That's how incredible our services are and how diligent they work on your behalf. Breaking down the FICO score again and how it's calculated. 35% is calculated by your payment history. 30% is your amount owed. 15% is your credit history. And 10% is your new credit, and another 10% is your credit mix. So revolving credit and your charge cards, um, mortgages, and your car payments.
Oh
So
wow, that's only 10%.
that's only 10%, but just having a mixture of it. So not
Okay.
just having,
Okay. Yeah.
you just can't have a bunch of credit cards. You are penalized because you don't have a mortgage or a car loan if you don't drive.
So to me, that's why it's so important to learn about this. Again, like the mix. A lot of people just think, okay, I get credit cards, but no, you got to have a mix in order to have it.
But believe it or not, you have some people that walk around thinking credit is bad. Credit is bad if you abuse credit, but you need credit in order to make your major purchases. We see people all the time. I can't get a mortgage because I don't have a credit card. So the only thing that they can do is come to us for our secured credit card product. And we have an awesome program for that if those of you that need to build their credit and need a credit card.
Wow, like I said, a lot of information. But the thing is to utilize the information that you've been given. Then to give you a call for that free 99 consultation.
Right.
So tell them where they can contact you.
Okay, you can reach me at 734-752-8818. I'm on Facebook at Chenuda M. Harris and Instagram at Chenuda. My email address is letsfixitwithchenuda@gmail.com. So that's how you can reach me. And then, of course, I am here live on Facebook every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Worship Radio International.
Wow. Now what day and time again?
4 o'clock on
4
Wednesdays.
o'clock Wednesday.
Here on Worship Radio International, 4 o'clock p.m. I am live on Facebook.
So that means that they can tune in to you at 4.
Yeah,
Then watch Biz Talk with DeAndre at 6
yeah.
on Wednesdays.
Eat dinner in between, I guess. Have a snack.
Get quick, and plug in.
Definitely.
Well, again, there's been a wealth of information again. And like I said, I'm going to look at the replay, listen, take some notes, and again, increase that credit score because I'm going for that 800. I'm going for 800.
We're going for the 800?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm right there on the cusp. So now I know some tips that I'm about to use. Increase. And then maybe I get that 850. But that's just for bragging rights, right?
Just for bragging rights, because you're not going to get nothing different.
But see, then if I get it there, then if it happen to drop, then I got some leeway. I got to look at it that way. No.
But see, people that have that 850 and then it drop, some of y'all be ready to jump out the window and lose your mind because your credit score dropped 2 points. Lord have mercy, my credit score done dropped.
And I've heard some people like that too. It's like,
I'm like, you upset because it dropped 2 points and you got 850? Okay.
but you know what I did to get that 850?
Right.
Oh man, so again, there's a lot of great tips, and I'm definitely going to put them to use. And again, then give you a call, get a consultation, and get their 499 credit score up to that 750. Again, it's going to take progress. It's a process. Again, we didn't just automatically get there like that overnight.
Right.
So it's going to take a little time, but in the process, they're learning. So now they can stay out of that situation. Then they can also teach their children, so then they won't have to go through what they went through.
Exactly.
I like this. So again, I love win-win opportunities. This sounds like one of those.
It is
win-win.
definitely teaching our future and leaving a legacy is so important. You find so many people that don't even think about the importance of their financial situation. We live paycheck to paycheck and rob Peter to pay Paul, and that's no way to live.
I was just about to ask you, like, is that fun? You love living like that? And that's like,
It could be stressful.
Yeah, we don't need stress. We don't need stress. Go back to those affirmations.
I was getting ready to say, it make you not want to say your affirmations and when you got to be in stress situations.
Man, robbing Peter, pay Paul, and Paul over here, I got to take that money back and I can put, that's too much. Let me learn the steps and how to learn about credit, learn how to save. Again, some of these things that wasn't taught in high school, wasn't taught there. Then you get out here and you just...
They're not even taught in college.
No, in college they stand on all the little corners giving you credit cards.
I mean, I'm going to just ask this question. How many of you use the geometry and the algebra that they taught you in high school or forced you to learn and said that it was a prerequisite? Because I remember being in Mr. Rake's class in Romulus High, so upset because I hated algebra. I hated math. I was like, only thing I needed to know was how to count my money. X, Y's, and Z's didn't matter. They didn't add up. I didn't care about the algorithms of the
A squared plus B squared.
Exactly. I didn't care about that. So it was irrelevant. And I ain't used it since I left there with my D.
So here's some stuff here that's relevant.
Definitely.
That you can use in your life every day. Increase your credit score. Go look into investing and different stuff like that that's going to make you money, earn you money.
Definitely.
But again, they don't teach that.
But see, you know, those of you that are even aspiring to be entrepreneurs, this is the foundation to make that dream come true, is getting that credit score in order. Otherwise, who's going to lend you any money if your credit is jacked?
Well,
I'm just saying.
Wow. Looking at the clock, it's ticking away.
Okay.
But I have enjoyed you here. I've enjoyed the information that you have
Always
shared.
a pleasure.
Again, I'm using it and putting it to work and trying to share it with my daughters and my son. Just like the youngest daughter, like I said, was that the pre-authorized, or no, put her on my card.
As an authorized buyer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, she doesn't have to buy anything on my card, but because of my history and paying on time.
No, what you do is you just put her on there and don't tell her you put her on there, and you don't even have to give her the card. So therefore, you can save yourself the anxiety. My mother did. My mother did that to me. She made me an authorized user on her card, but Chenuda did not have access to that card whatsoever because she knew she was gonna spend it if she had it, you know, if I had access to it. So versus even going through that anxiety, she just put me on there as an authorized buyer. So that was one thing that my parents did do at an early age is do that, and I still have that credit history.
Wow. Yeah, matter of fact, my mom did that, and I still got all this history that's helping build.
And you don't want that history to go away,
right?
Because as long as they're paying that bill on time, that is a positive length of history that you don't want to have severed off of your report.
Right, get you back on for a third time. Yeah, definitely.
Long as Brother Al don't find out.
All right, Brother Al. We fam, man. Remember, we fam, Pastor Al. Yeah. He was the one that blessed me. I was the MC or host for his launch of his business, Coaching with Al. And so from that point, I met Prophet Blaine, who's like, oh, you got a great voice. I hear him. I hear Prophet Blaine. But yeah, then he shared about the studio here, and I could have a radio show here, and I've been having that on my heart, and God just made a way, and here we are.
I know, right? I never imagined in my wildest dreams I would be on the radio talking about credit. This was never in Chenuda's plans whatsoever when I decided to do this business.
Wow. And
now here we are.
To God be the glory.
Amen.
Wow. Well, it's almost that time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you all for tuning in again to watch DeAndre and Chenuda talk about credit and the power of credit. So thanks for tuning in to Biz Talk with DeAndre. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you look at it, replay it, take notes, use the tips. Again, free tips. Then you can always give her a call to get a consultation to improve your credit. So again, I love my entrepreneurs. I love my business owners. I love you that's watching. So again, make sure that you share Biz Talk with DeAndre. And I'm just looking forward to next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Come tune in to Biz Talk with DeAndre. Until next time, God bless you. Take care. See ya.
Hey, this is DeAndre Ford, and you're listening to Worship Radio International.